good afternoon, everybody. My name is Donna Feazell, and I'm your host of The Edge on IC Radio, your source for news and entertainment. You can also find us on television two different ways, channel 182 on Charter Communications, as well as Abundant TV, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. So good to be with you today. Got some ideas. We're all trying to scamper around and, get along with this crazy economy we're having to deal with right now. And sometimes you're in the mood of cleaning out the closet, and you're thinking, what am I going to do with all this stuff I'm just really not using? Can I make some extra income by selling it, maybe online? I've got some tips for you. This is 20 tips and tricks for selling your stuff online. You can also find this on the website yardbarker.com. That's yardbarker.com. So let's go ahead and get started. We're decluttering everything, okay? Spring cleaning, if the spring weather will ever get here so we can feel like it's spring cleaning. But a lot of folks just want to make extra money, some extra cash because, things have really went up in price. And so we've got some really good platforms to work with. That's eBay. Poshmark is another good one, and also Marketplace on Facebook is another good one. I just found a really good washer and dryer combination machine that would sell for a good couple $3,000. Got it for $600. So I'm pretty happy with that purchase. So look online, and you never know what you're going to find. You won't have to spend so much money. Now, looking for some extra cash, maybe you got some old baseball cards or something like that. I'm going to give you these tips. And you need to really, first of all, tip number one, find out what it's actually worth. There are all kinds of search engines you can go online, and you can figure some of this stuff out. So if you're set out to sell that old TV or maybe rare books that you inherited, the best thing to do is go on the online and see if you can find it. Check sites like eBay and find out what other people are selling those products for. eBay, Facebook Marketplace, and that's a really good guide for you to kind of go along with and check. Might be worth contacting maybe an antique appraiser or a local expert for more information. I had a vase one time, and I was at an event. It was like an antiques marketplace kind of thing. It's in Charlotte, North Carolina. So I had this really pretty vase, and I had it with me. So this guy was so funny. He said, it's not worth a whole lot, but he was real quick to tell me that he'd give me $300 for it. I said, it's not worth anything, but you're willing to give me $300? So that let me know it's got to be worth at least 3 times that, or he wouldn't have offered $300 for it. So really don't undersell your stuff. Don't oversell either, but most definitely don't undersell. A couple of reasons for that. First of all, if it's too good a price, people get really nervous about that. They're afraid you're hiding something. They're afraid that it's not authentic. So, give it a fair market price. Don't overdo and don't underdo it as well. Okay, also, let's see if there was anything else about that. Yeah, just take it to an antique appraiser or maybe a local expert. If it's jewelry, take it to a local jeweler. And if you're little, maybe Aunt Susie gave you something one Christmas 30 years ago and you never really thought that much about it. Maybe it really is gold and you didn't know it. So I would definitely have those things appraised and taken care of. There are a couple of descriptors. Let's talk about the condition of the article that you're going to be selling. Now, I sell jewelry online, and I sell signs and just, anything you can make, I sell it online. And just make sure that it's the quality and the condition that it should be, that someone would maybe give as a gift. So think about that. There are a couple of descriptors that online sellers use to describe the condition, and there's one that's called new with tags, which is pretty much, it explains it itself, and then new without tags. Now let's break that down. What does that mean? It means that the item has never been used but lacks its original packaging. That's what without tags means. Now, excellent used condition refers to items that are still totally function, while sold as is may mean that your item may need a little work from its new owner. It could be, pretty new. Maybe you just lost a button. But make sure you explain that when it comes to clothing, okay? Because you never know. I had some old Coach shoes, and all it was missing was it was like the little brad on the bottom of the heel. You better believe I sold that online. I took lots and lots of pictures of the heel missing a brad on the bottom of the heel. So, you got to make sure, this is the time when you've got to be, always be honest, but be totally honest about your things, because if somebody buys it and you didn't explain that little brad was missing off the bottom of that heel, you know, they can get their money back for that. So then you've got the cost not only of shipping it to them, but having it shipped back to you. And shipping is not cheap. I'll tell you that right now. Okay, I'm finding this article on yardbarker.com. That's yardbarker.com. Got to figure out where to sell your goods. Okay, the platform you use to sell your item may be different depending on what that item actually is. So if it's something bulky like furniture, you want to go to something like a Facebook Marketplace, so you can sell it locally, because it's going to cost you a small fortune if you're going to sell that and ship it. I mean, you got to think about the weight of things. Like Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist could be a good source for you as well. If it's collectible, eBay might be the best odd for you. Like if it's an old Barbie doll that you had, it's 1960 Barbie doll, and even if it doesn't have all the clothes with it, even if it doesn't have the packaging, you still get a better price if you put it on eBay than you would probably on Facebook Marketplace. So, you know, let's just go ahead and mention that while we got it. Let's see. It populated, so let me find it back again. Here we go. And then for clothes, sale platforms like Poshmark and Mercari are ideal for that. So make sure you keep that in your mind. So Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist for things like furniture, anything that's going to be heavy and bulky. And then if it's collectible, you know, eBay's your source right there. Clothes sales platforms like Poshmark and Mercari are ideal. The one thing you want to think about with eBay is they have went up on their fees. So, you know, it's still worth it if it's something you want to throw away anyway. But it's something somebody else could use and it's in good condition. Go ahead and do it. I say better to make 50% than nothing. Absolutely. Okay, now this should be a no-brainer, but I need to mention this to you folks because I have bought things online and I've wondered what in the world you really want to sell that after I would get it. Got to be completely clear in your description about how things look, okay? Make sure it's clean and in the condition that you specified. Okay, so really it should be a no-brainer, but plenty of folks buy something secondhand each year only for the item to arrive in totally dirty or broken. So make sure to thoroughly clean your item before selling it. And inspect to make sure you haven't missed any hidden holes on the sleeve or the sweater or cracks or the pricey vase that you're trying to sell. Just make sure that everything's exactly like you say in that regard. And I bought, I needed a pair of pliers. I make jewelry and things like that. And so I needed some of those little needle nose. I wanted some bent pliers. I have some, but they have the little, they're not smooth, you know, in between the surfaces. And I needed some that were smooth. Well, looking on eBay, it looked like a brand new pair. When I got them, they were rusted. And I couldn't even move the pliers on them. I mean, they were just, so I went on ahead, and the first thing you want to do if you got a complaint on eBay, you need to get with the seller first. Well, the seller took forever, like forever to reply back to me. I was about ready just going ahead and go, give it a good couple of days. People are busy. This is a busy time. People working, whatever. Give it a good couple of days. So I was giving it the third day. Hadn't heard from him. Well, lo and behold, he finally sent a message back. And so he said, well, we've had damp weather, so that's why it's rusty. And I said, no way. This is an old pair of pliers. And also, the needle nose was bent. So, I mean, it didn't even hold. It wouldn't clip onto anything. So anyway, needless to say, I got my money back. He told me I could keep them, but I just went on and threw them away. I didn't think anybody could use those things. Get ready to haggle, okay? That's what it's going to be. In most cases, it makes sense to list an item online for a little more than you're willing to accept, just to kind of make a little room for haggling. Most secondhand shoppers are trying to score a deal, and they're going to make you offers that generally lower than your asking price. So if an item doesn't sell, you can always drop the price later. Do that. And I'll tell you, on eBay, you'll be given the option to wait until the whole thing is over and until somebody makes a bid on it, and then at the end of the bid time they can buy it. Or one thing you can do is set a buy it now price. I do that a lot of times, and that way I don't have to wait the the full 10 or 15 days. Some people do 30 days. I do 10, 15 days. You'll know if something's going to sell within 10 or 15 days. And so I'll put a buy now price on it. And I've sold a lot of things that way online. So you just never know. Somebody may say, now some people are going to do a ridiculous low price. Don't get desperate with it, okay? So if you have something online for, say, $10 and somebody says they'll buy it from $1, just laugh it off. You need to respond, okay? Because you never know when it's somebody just checking your customer service attitude. So, don't be nasty about it. Just say no. And that's all you got to do. Just say no. Just say no. Remember that back in the drug days? They'd say, just say no. So, being ready to haggle. Again, a lot of, it's secondhand, so people are, they're going to want to haggle with you on prices. Okay, now this is really big. Take high quality photos. Nothing is worse than looking at something online and you can't even see it because it's so fuzzy and it's just not a good picture of it. So please take good photos. Now and the cameras nowadays, like this iPhone camera right here, this does better than this really expensive camera we used to have back in the day. I mean, there's no excuse. You can take good pictures. Now, when folks are shopping on platforms like Mercari and Poshmark, high quality photos are key. You gotta use natural lighting, pose your items with complementary accessories, or consider investing in cheap mannequin. And that way you can sell lots of stuff on that mannequin. Make sure that the lighting is accurate so the buyers aren't surprised by the true color or condition when the item arrives. Sometimes you can have something that maybe it's green, but the picture may show it to look blue. You can adjust your camera settings on that because it could be somebody looks horrible in green or it looks blue online, and then they're going to get the shock of their lifetime when it doesn't look correct. Lots of good photos, not just take good ones, but take lots of them. Now eBay, I think they used to require you do at least 12. I think they've went down on that requirement. When it's clothing and stuff like that, I'll take more than 12. I mean, I'll take lots of stuff like that. But when it's something that really you don't have, there's not really, you're selling, say, I don't know, maybe you bought 2 extra cold creams, you decided you don't need but one, and you're going to sell the other one. Maybe you got to buy one, get one free. A lot of people do that when the store is running a buy one, get one free. And then they'll sell the free one online, and it actually pays for the one they bought. Good deal for everybody. So if that happens, you don't want to take 12 pictures of it. Now make sure that it's unsealed. That's another thing about products. It needs to be an unsealed product if it's something that you have bought commercially. Never opened is always the best way to sell something. The buyers want to be assured that the item they're buying is as great as it seems, and having plenty of pictures can help miscommunication. So take photos of all angles, especially any imperfections, and make them available upon request when buyers ask. Absolutely. Okay, it's time to go into a quick commercial break. We're going to be right back in just a minute with how you can sell stuff online and make a profit. We'll be right back. The Hatter Cafe and Country Inn is nestled in the northeast corner of Alabama the Beautiful in the delightful town of Mentone. We're located on top of scenic Lookout Mountain near Little River and DeSoto State Park and located only 5 minutes from shopping and restaurants. There is also a nearby community walking path and golf course. We welcome everyone through the doors, and we are committed to outstanding service for all guests. At the Hatter Cafe and Country Inn, we invite people from all walks of life to come and get away from it all, enjoy the open spaces, treetop views, fresh, clean air, and experience Southern hospitality at its finest. We look forward to hosting you. To reserve a special event, or if you would love a special getaway at the Country Inn, you can call us at 256-634-2018. Jeff McCurdy of the McCurdy Law Firm has been a public service of this area for over 10 years. McCurdy, a member of the Henniger City Council, serves as prosecutor for the town of Sylvania and was named public defender for the city of Rainsville. The McCurdy Law Firm is located at 17326 Alabama Highway 75 in Henniger to better represent his Jackson and DeKalb County clients. If you need to be represented by a true public servant with proven success, call Jeff at 256-996-8701
or send a private email to mccurdy.lawfirm@gmail.com. No representation is made that the legal services performed is greater than the legal services performed by other lawyers.
At Liberty Bank, we're all about community. Whether it's to help with a charity fundraiser or help families in need, toys at Christmas, or a local football team, we're here for you. You see, we realize the importance of family. Sometimes it's to build a new home or necessary home repairs. We're here for you. If you like the feel of a small town bank with all the conveniences of a big city bank, we're here to serve you. You will find us at any of our convenient locations in DeKalb, Marshall, Etowah, and Blount counties in North Alabama. You can call and speak with any of our friendly staff at 256-659-2175 or check us out on the web at libertybankal.com. And thank you for your support of our community. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender. Let Rhonda at Rhonda's Elite Tax LLC take the burden off you for all your tax needs. I know because Rhonda has been taking care of my business since 2013. I feel Rhonda works for me because she knows the direct questions to ask to better benefit my unique business in order for me to get back the biggest refund possible. Rhonda is an ongoing student, and she knows tax laws are in a constant change every year. Call 256-281-9903 for an appointment to take the dread out of getting your taxes done. Rhonda is located at 11968 U.S. Highway 431 in Boaz. Again, that number is 256-281-9903. And let Rhonda's Elite Tax LLC champion your personal and business taxes.
At Lamone's Mexican Restaurant, located in Henniger, Alabama, and voted Best Mexican Restaurant of DeKalb County, Alabama 2020, we're here to serve you with authentic Mexican cuisine. Order easily online by going to lamonsmex.com or call 256-657-3999 to place your order. We're open Sunday through Thursday 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Friday and Saturday 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Whether you're celebrating a cozy date night for two or a celebration for a crowd, at Lamone's you'll love our atmosphere and friendly servers. Thank you for dining with Lamone's Mexican Restaurant.
Okay, we are back. My name is Donna Feazell, and I'm your host of The Edge on IC Radio. Thank you so much for watching every day between 1 and 3 p.m. Central, and we definitely appreciate you. This is a show about you, and you rule the roost around here, so you always tell me what kind of shows I need to have, and that's what I'm doing. So I'm doing one right now. It's 20 tips and tricks for selling yourself online. We're in a weird economy right now. There are ups and there are downs, mostly downs. So this is the time of year we're cleaning out the closet. And we're deciding, do I really need that? Somebody else probably can. You know, it's a good item. It's clean. It's a good item. Mentioning that again. So, let's decide, how we're going to make this thing work. Now, this is number 8, and it says, beware of scams. Oh, my goodness. They're out there. I promise you. Scammers lurk everywhere on the internet. eBay, Poshmark are no exception. You're going to find them. Make sure you're only conducting transactions through the platform's official channels and use protected pay methods like PayPal to complete the purchases. A general rule of thumb, if an offer sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Now, let me tell you what a scammer did to me the other day. So I had something, I collect a lot of clothes. I'll go to thrift stores and stuff like that, and I find stuff like extreme name brand stuff that was expensive down in the day, and people want things like that. So I found an item, and I'm talking about a really, really nice item. It was back in 1960. Well, I had $100 on it, and it's something that's worth about $500. Well, a scammer made an offer. Now get this, okay, I had put you can buy it now for $300. He actually put way over $300. It seemed like it was $1,000 or something. It was incredible. It was nuts. So he put say that he will buy it for $1,000. Well, I'm very suspicious. If I've said my buy it now price is $300, why are you offering $1,000? Well, I reported it to eBay, and yeah, it was a scammer. He was hoping that I would give him banking information, whatever, and then he would have scammed me, and then I would have been out a lot of money. So the old thing your grandparents used to tell you, if it sounds too good to be true, it is too good to be true. Okay, so don't think that somebody's going to be that lighthearted and wonderful. Okay, so be really careful out there. Now figure out how you're going to ship it or deliver the item, okay? When selling online, the right kind of packaging is key, especially when you're talking about fragile items like electronics. Use bubble wrap and paper to ensure that your item is secure in a sturdy cardboard box. Make sure it's taped securely and reduce the chance of mishaps during the transit. Now on eBay, we have a 100% where people they're recommending this to everybody. And one of the key things is this. When we package, when we sell something, we get it out the door, okay? Sometimes I may have to find it, but anyway, we'll get it right out the door. And another thing is the way we package it. If it's glassware or whatever it is, I'm making sure that if the shipper has dropped it 10 times, it's still going to be inside that package. That means I use extra tape. I mean, I tape that sucker up like there's no tomorrow. I want to make sure that nobody's going to bounce it on the ground and break it open and do that, okay? And you will get 100% approval, okay? You definitely will. And ship it out really fast. Okay, so consider buying shipping insurance. Occasionally a package gets lost in the mail, so paying a little extra for shipping insurance on the package means that you won't be out the cost of that item in the event your package is lost, plus the cost of a refund to your disappointed buyer. So you get paid both ways that way, so it is worth that. So I definitely suggest you do that. Let's see, I talked about taping and that kind of thing. Shipping things in a timely fashion. I was ahead of the game on that. Yeah, do ship it out, because nothing is worse than somebody sitting there doing their fingers. And during COVID, you remember that time during COVID? Man, it would worry me to death if somebody hadn't received it. So it's best if you're wondering, see, you should have a tracking number on everything, okay? So I had this particular instance where there was a tracking number and it was just sitting in some facility somewhere. It worried me more than it worried the customer. So it's best if you're the one who gets in contact with the customer to tell them, look, I've got the tracking number right here. I see it still sitting in Arizona right here. I am so sorry. You know, I'll give you a discount next time you buy something or whatever, you know. And so this customer said, don't worry about the discount. I mean, thank you for letting me know. You know, they were busy, didn't even notice it was late. See, I was the one going to pieces, not the customer. Be prepared for a million questions. Yeah, do that. When folks are buying online, it's difficult to inspect the items you're interested in thoroughly as they could if you're in a store. And so it's especially true when buying secondhand. Be prepared to be peppered with questions. You're going to get a lot of them by potential buyers, and answer them promptly. Even if you don't know the answer, just be honest about it. That's all you got to do. Going back to clothing again, if it's a pair of shoes and it's missing the brad on the bottom of the shoe heel, you need to take pictures of it so there are no surprises. Okay, now write detailed descriptions with as much information as possible. When you're listing your item on like Poshmark or Mercari, make sure that you're as thorough as possible. Add the maker of the item, when it was made, when you purchased it, and thoroughly detail any flaws or imperfections. Now, let's say you've bought a Louis Vuitton handbag. You're not for sure whether it's the real thing or not. If you're not sure, make sure you put that on there. But don't call it the Louis Vuitton handbag, okay? Because you can get your hand slapped with eBay if you do something like that. Now, for collectibles, if you're find people who are just really into collectibles. So if you're selling something like highly collectible figurines, antique Tiffany lamps, or something like that, seek out the Facebook groups and other online selling platforms where your item will inspire the most interest. Like if you got a Tiffany lamp, I wouldn't put it in a clothing Facebook page. Don't do that. It's not going to sell, because the people who go there are only looking for clothes. Plus, you're going to tick everybody else off. So make sure you got the right grouping. Consider selling selling platforms that do the work for you. Now, taking photos, writing countless descriptions, that's a lot of work, especially if you're looking to upload lots of items. Platforms like ThreadUp, I got to check this one out. ThreadUp allows sellers to ship their items for free directly to a warehouse where they're then photographed and listed for sale. Now, the platform takes a cut of the sales, so that's totally worth it to avoid more than one trip to the post office if that's what you're doing. Okay, measure everything, and this is something I found the hard way, especially when I'm buying secondhand. You may buy, maybe you wear a size 10. And the label says, and you've got it out there, you've got something for sale that says it's a size 10, but maybe you had it either let out or you had it let in, okay? You found somebody to take it. Because a lot of formals and stuff are that way. You'll find the dress of your dreams. That's the one I'm going to look at the most beautiful in, but the problem is either too big or too small. So you've had it altered. You need to make sure that, that you let people know that. And take the measurements around the waist, around the bust line, around the hips, around the legs, whatever. Pants especially, make sure you have the correct length of those pants. Nothing worse than buying pants that say that they're a long and they wind up being, you've cut them off and they're a short. You're going to have to return the money. I promise you that. Don't forget to look for ways your home's hidden money makers. You got a stash of old cell phones or a laptop that's dead, send it in via electronics recycling services for cash instead of just letting it go into a landfill. Make a little money off of it. Use your social media channels to promote your sales. Now, if you're cleaning out your closet or decluttering furniture, chances are you've got a friend that's interested in something. So use social networks like Instagram and Facebook to promote the items you're looking to just get rid of, and offer to meet up in person when feasible to save both yourself and the buyer's cash on shipping and other things. And then I wanted to mention this one. We're getting close to the end of the show. Don't be afraid to drop the price, okay? Sometimes it's just not as appealing as you think it is. Maybe it's something that, it means something to you. It's not going to mean the same thing to somebody else. And that's totally okay. So if you've got something that's been hanging in your Mercari listings or Poshmark closet for more than a couple of weeks, it might be a sign that it's priced just a little bit too high for buyers. Drop it by 10% or more and watch the buyers roll in. So that's what I'm going to do. Now, know when it's time to trash or donate your items. Sometimes the item you need to get rid of just won't move on the market. After a couple of weeks or months, depending on the desire of the declutter on eBay, it might be time to consider donating those items to a local nonprofit. Shepherd's Cove Thrift Shop would be a great place. They'll come by and pick it up, by the way. Yeah, no worries for you. And if they're truly not in sellable condition, the trash really might be the best home for your most well-loved items. Don't forget, you can go to some places like, you just take it off and make money off of the metal that's in it, like there's no refrigerator or something like that. You probably get more out of that than you would if you sold it, practically gave it away, and it'd be less of a hassle too. You're rid of it. Thank you so much for watching The Edge on IC Radio, your source for news and entertainment. You can also find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications, as well as Abundant TV, which is found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. Make sure you hang around. We've got another awesome guest coming up in just a few minutes, and you are definitely the apple of my eye. And check out this website now. It's got some good stuff to it, yardbarker.com. That's yardbarker.com. You take care. And I'll see you in the morning also for the weather and the traffic report, and later on that evening for sports history.